And the Silva has had a vision of something that's going to happen. Two potential things that are going to happen. Outcome number one is the war continues for years and a lot of us die.
The war's still not over?
No, Levi, it's not. It's very much not. But there's a way we can end it quicker.
How?
Anna Silva said that it's up to me if it ends quicker.
To you?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Juan, I know you already know this, but the others don't. I can cast the Killing Curse. And I've done it once before. I'm willing to answer whatever questions you have about that, but what she said was I would be able to invent a mass killing curse. And I think you know what that means.
How mass?
It doesn't discriminate mass.
Yeah, no, but like...
So we're just gonna end the war by killing everyone in it?
I don't know. The other outcome involves nuclear weapons and more people are going to die, but... Look, I don't know what to do, guys. Because once we make that decision, we can't unmake it.
As you say, look, Roxy, I'm not an expert on divination, but I do know that they can get it wrong. They can misinterpret the prophecy or misread it, and I think the first question you need to ask yourself before you make any decisions is how much you trust this prophecy. Who did you say? Did she say who gave it?
Anna Silva.
Anna Silva.
Okay. How much do you trust Anna Silva?
I hardly know.
Not just that she would mislead you on purpose, but I mean, this is a pretty big prophecy.
I hardly know her, Al. Levi, she's head of your house.
Yeah, her visions are never wrong, but at the same time, sorry, there's been times where, like, she couldn't 100% understand the prophecy. What age did you learn the Killing Curse?
I learned it during the Zodiac Games, initially on accident.
And how old were you? 16?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You'd have to ask yourself, you willing to give a bunch of 16-year-olds the power to kill thousands of people at once?
That's what I'm saying. Is it worth ripping off the Band-Aid now and having the wound fester later? Like...
But you could end the war.
I honestly don't know what to do, because it's not just... When I did it the first time, I was scared and I wasn't thinking about what I was doing, but this time I am.
I'm sorry, Rox, you can't use that as an excuse. You have to mean that curse. You have to want to kill for that curse. It's not just an accident.
Yeah.
Look, Rox. I don't think any of us can say anything. Because, like, many people before, if you do create this, I mean, it's something that will live on. Nobel, the man that made Nobel Prizes, he wasn't very happy with the way dynamite turned out to be used. But he managed to redeem himself. War ends happily. Always ends with a great show of force. also Americans ended World War II.
But them making those weapons are why we're in this situation now.
Yeah,
Who's to say if Roxy doesn't do this that someone else won't anyways?
That's what she said too. But she said in the prophecy, it's me that makes it.
I have an idea, Rox, but you're not gonna like it.
Shoot.
You make the curse, you use it, and you're the only one that knows how to do it. You never tell anybody else.
I thought about that too, actually.
that's
But you will have to kill. You'd have to. That's on you. That'd be
And
on your
Allah.
soul.
Okay.
And out of character, you know that she also has to mean it. To
Yeah.
use it. She has to
Mhm.
mean it.
I don't know if I can mean it.
I mean, how many more people have to die before you do?
I could do it.
It was her that needed to do it, or at least
No.
invent it.
You
You two
can
could work
learn it.
together.
How much worse can one person be that knows it than two persons?
Yeah, but then 2 turns into 4, 4 turns into 8.
What if we make an unbreakable vow that
Needs to
we do this together?
happen. We can
and we
make an
never tell
unbreakable
anyone
vow.
else?
Look, I didn't know what to do. I just needed advice. I don't
Rox,
want to be involved. I don't want
listen
to.
to me. No, listen to me. The moment you tell us about this, we're involved. We're already all in. I don't want to put pressure on you, but he will clench his fist. He looks very angry. This war already took too many people. And if this goes on, it will take many more than the ones that will be taken if this spell is created.
And I say we go with Elvine's suggestion. With the vow. At least then, even if we're tempted, we know the cost of breaking that promise. That way it never leaves the circle.
It never leads the circle.
I think we have to do it. I mean, think about Toby, Aika, Finn. If I could go back and make this decision to save Levi and Asa and Nico, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
And my brother.
Your brother.
Carlos is dead. Some muggles trapped him in a laboratory and experimented with him until they drove him to suicide.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Aika's body, but Levi just lowers his head, hearing that was the Muggles.
I'm sure of it.
Nobody
The
made the
important
right
thing is that none of us are in this alone, Roxy. We're here. Even if you're the one that was prophesized to get this started, we're in this together.
You don't have to do it alone.
Nobody in this war has made the right decision so far. Maybe we can now.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to know that what happens does not change our friendship.
Team Wampus forever.
Team Bumpus forever.
Well, I'm kind of in Aika's body right now, but the spirit right now. Levi, Team Wampus forever.
Well, I mean Levi. I hope you saw the funeral we put on for you. It was nice.
I might have. That might be another secret I keep.
Well, I hope you liked it.
Being in Aika's body makes me just want to keep all these secrets and figure them out. It's really weird.
It's like a practical joke now. Okay, I'll let them know.
You feel your hold on this body start to weaken a little bit, and you feel that you're starting to pass back to where you were.
Well, guys, I think this may be the end here. It was great to see you guys one last time. In my death, it was just Chessa and my dad, but I really did think about you guys right before.
We thought about you too.
We'll never stop thinking about you.
That's what I like to hear. Don't forget about me. Because how can you forget about Levi? I mean, like...
We'll see you again.
I don't know if the unbreakable vow works with possessed people, but before you go, we need to do this, and Al will put his hand in.
Oksana puts a hand in.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a good idea.
He came up with the idea, he gets the spell.
Just give us the visual. What happens, Albion?
So as they all put their hands in, I think in the movies or the book series, it was like the snake and like the dark mark, right? So instead of that, when they put their hands together, it's going to be like vines that intertwine their four hands as he casts the spell.
Okay. You will cast the spell, and you suddenly feel something within your very soul. I don't want to say chained to your soul. It's not that, but you feel like something bound to your soul now, almost as a reminder of the vow that you made and the consequences if you break that vow. That's now somewhere within. It's a very weird feeling, but it's something that will fade away, but always present, even though it fades away.
The secrets of that curse will die with us.
And just for clarification, when Al did it, the vow he would have presented or said was that they would not tell anyone about this at all. Like, they can't even tell people they're working on it. Once it's figured out, they will use the spell together if it comes to that. And I think those are the two parts of the contract. Would you guys agree to
and we
that?
can never teach the spell to anyone else.
To anybody else. Teach it to nobody else. Mm-hmm. That goes with not talking about it. Yeah. So making sure we hit everything. Levi will also say before he drifts away, he'd be like, hey, if you're going to use this spell, maybe use it on people that maybe deserve it. Just saying. Maybe hit up Azkaban.
We're
Don't
only
worry,
using
Levi.
it to prevent death. The only time we use it is if it prevents more people from dying.
And the prophecy doesn't have to be used to set an example? Kind of like the atomic bomb?
It's unspecified.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I
I
think
put
it
that in my own
has
head,
to.
I think. Well, if you have to set an example, Azkaban's a good place to hit.
We'll keep that in mind.
All right, guys. Well, it was great. Oh, can you tell Chessa that I love her? I'm sorry I died. I'm waiting for her. And to name our kid something she knows I'd like. Just, a little homage to me.
Wait, your kid?
Wait,
Oh,
what?
I didn't even get to tell you guys. Yeah, she's pregnant. I proposed to her the day before I died. What are the... It's like a cop retiring, Like in the movies, it's like, oh, I'm finally going to retire and get my pension. And then they die that day. It's kind of exactly just like that.
God, that's horrible. We'll let her know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know.
We'll take a look out of your kids.
I'll make sure that he or she gets to watch lots of Star Wars.
That's why I'm saying, please let them watch Star Wars. If they don't like Star Wars, don't tell me, all right? I don't want to know about that. You pretend they like Star Wars.
I wasn't as talking to you again, buddy.
All right. Well, I miss you guys, but I'm waiting for you. Got a nice little spot up there for you guys. See you guys soon.
Hopefully not that soon.
But hey, it's quite nice up there, like, well, I don't actually know if I go up or down, it's not like an elevator, you can just feel it, you're just kind of there.
And in mid-sentence,
And, sometimes it's just there.
and
I just love
Aika,
that.
like,
You
shakes.
just kinda go.
Whew. Oh. I guess it didn't work after all, Leica said. Sorry, I tried.
It did work, sweetheart.
Oh,
Good work.
really? That's something I'm gonna have to keep in my back pocket then.
I need you to quickly tell me something. It's very important. Do you feel a bit different on the inside?
No? I'm a bit hungry, though. Is that what you mean?
Well, I mean, one thing I forgot to ask, Albion, does the vow work on him? Is it him or is it Levi that has the vow?
It depends on what... I'm going to say that for Albion, he can decide if it involves him or Levi or both.
Al would look at Aika and say, so you didn't hear any of that?
No. I thought it didn't work.
Then he's not tied to it. He'll say, turning to Roxy.
Okay. Aika, we're gonna do it.
All right.
It's not going to... You don't have to worry about this, but let's just say there's no way the secret of this spell is leaving this room. Ever.
I, of all people, can respect that.
Okay.
Now, let me cook you guys something. You said you have hungry. I think we all need a warm meal.
I could go for a sandwich. Yes. Lots of cheese, please.
No, Juan will go and make sandwiches for everyone. Because that's good.
All right. Juan still is up on his cooking game, so it's very good. And I'm going to say that you'll guys spend the rest of the afternoon just catching up a little bit. In the interest of time, I do want to move on, but I do want to say you guys at least catch up.
Oh my god, I know what you mean
Oh
now.
my god.
Yeah, when he said there's other ways of torturing you, I was like, what else could there be? That's bad. That was bad. We might want to save it for the vlog, but that was, oh boy.
That was boy.
Before the session started, for anyone watching, I told Jordan that there's other ways of torturing characters other than taking a loved one away from them. So this was it.
Unfathomable. That's what we'll say how we do it.
A few days pass by. It'll still take time for Roxana to research before she discovers the secrets to the mass-killing curse, Avada Kedavra Maximum. Juan is being given his next assignment because the war's still going on, so he's still employed. Juan, your current assignment is that you are being informed that they believe that there is a secret government organization known as Orion. This organization has been making it a point to round up members of the magical society in an effort to reveal magic to the no-mages and muggles. Now, it's too late because the cat's out of the bag. Muggles now know that magic exists. However, there was an incident from their reports that something happened around Christmas time where all of the magical creatures, dangerous magical creatures, might I say, from werebats to hags, and even a mystical being known as a puka, who can actually suck the soul out of you. There was a report that someone was sent to release them from their cells, but that never happened successfully. But they want to find out. They did find out that the person who was sent to release them was just working for somebody else who refers to them by a code name, Dusk. Your assignment is to do some investigation to find out who Dusk is. and that will hopefully give you a good opportunity. I also forgot to mention that you did a stellar job giving them all the information from your previous mission, so you get rewarded. I'm gonna say like 100 galleons or something, like something ridiculous
I
to
have
that
money
effect.
now. Yay.
Yes. So give yourself a reward of 100 galleons to spend however you choose or save. So you will be in Washington, D.C. doing your investigation. And at some point, I guess I'm going to ask, while you're in Washington, D.C., are you in a disguise? Or are you just Juan?
I think that because I'm not expecting to see someone I know, I would go as Juan.
Okay.
I think I would do that.
Juan is... Okay, we're going to say that you're eating out somewhere at some restaurant, muggle restaurant, perhaps. And we're going to say that... what would you order from this restaurant? It can be whatever type of restaurant you want.
I'm eating just some chicken noodle soup.
Okay, chicken noodle soup. All right. They did a mess up on your order, and so in order to apologize for the mess up, the one of the waiters or waitresses, I think, one of the waitresses, who is this kind of disheveled, middle-aged looking woman, probably in her mid-40s. She like comes over to you and says, "Yeah, sorry, honey, about the mix-up. Please, as an apologies from the chef, have a pumpkin pasty."
Ooh, nice, thanks. I've gotten quite a liking to these things after a little party.
Oh, thanks. They're my personal favorite, the woman says.
Hey, cool. And he will just eat it.
You will eat the pumpkin pasty. And then they give you the check. And I would like for you to roll me a stamina. Stamina roll, please.
I'm gonna get kidnapped, guys.
Right.
The lunch lady from episode 1.
The lunch lady from episode 1. Yeah, she got a new job.
Yeah, that's the lunch lady. That's the one that Levi played.
Yes, she got it. She got a whole new job now.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna die.
Remember
12?
Oh,
All right.
good.
All right. You manage to pay for your check. You step out of the restaurant and you're going to make your way home. But then you're starting to feel a little dizzy. And you feel a little bit weak. And the world around you starts spinning. And then everything goes black.
Oh, shit.
You gradually wake up. You come to. And you find yourself in some sort of a... I'm going to say it looks like a warehouse. Like an empty warehouse. And right now you're bound and tied. And you hear a voice, a female voice, say, "Well, I have to admit, I expected that to be a little bit more difficult." And you recognize the voice as the girl who was serving hors d'oeuvres at the reception.
Okay. It was unfair to use a tasty pastry against me. Just to be clear. Who the fuck are you?
She suddenly comes into view and she faces you, and she looks exactly the way that she did before, except her hair color has changed. Now she's a strawberry blonde at the moment. And she says, "Sorry, cutie, I'm the one asking the questions here."
Ha! Just because I'm bound and tied and in your complete control, you think you asked the questions? Because you're correct. So, what do you want to know?
She says, "Wow, She folds her arms. You are easy, aren't you? Not just easy on the eyes, too, she says as she tilts her head.
Okay, that won't work. Maybe. So,
Really now, she says as she walks in closer to you, and you can kind of smell like a very sweet smell of perfume, maybe? It smells a lot like a mix of watermelon, cucumber, and salt water. Watermelon, cucumber, and salt water. Interesting scent.
that's a very exotic perfume you have there.
Why, thank you, she says. It has pheromones in it. Is it working?
No. What are you doing after this?
She looks you up and down, and then she kind of takes her hand and just kind of goes, pats your cheek there. So, let me get this straight. You are Juan de la de Rivera, aka 001, spy for the traditionalists, and also sometimes known as Brandon Carr. I've read your file.
So, you have a lot of information.
Oh, it's my business to have a lot of information in my line of work.
I'm guessing you don't work for Dusk, do you?
No. Do you know who Dusk is?
Well, I was in the middle of doing that. Now, would you explain to me, please, Cutie, why am I tied up?
Well, from spy to spy, she says. I just wanted to have a little bit of information out of you because I heard you're very good at your work. You're very good at what you do, and during your line of work, you've collected a lot of very valuable information. So, let's try to make this as easy as possible and painless as possible. And I just have one question to ask you, and then I can send you off in your merry little way.
Well, that all depends on the question.
She takes a chair, spins the chair around backwards, and she sits on it.
Ooh.
She says, Juan de la de Rivera, are you single?
Put a ring on that shit.
Whoa. This is going in a completely different direction. Yeah, I am.
Good. That question was for me, not for my agents.
Damn.
But I will take note. It's important for me to learn everything that I need to about my target. Because I don't know if you operate the same way, Mr. De La de Rivera, but I'm the type of agent that when I have a target and I want something, I don't stop till I get it.
We're quite similar in that regard.
Well, Mr. De La de Rivera, do you by any chance know anything about a mass killing curse?
A mass killing curse?
We have reason to believe that one is currently being developed in order to help end this war as quickly as possible. I don't suppose during your line of spy work that you may have dug up a few information about who or what may be constituting this research, because I know it's being done.
Well, then I would like to have a chat with your information gatherers, because if I knew that the mass killing curse was being developed, why would I care about going after Dusk?
Dusk is a secondary target of mine. The mass killing curse, however, could end this war faster than anything else up to this point.
And
you do want this war to end, don't you? I mean, I'm sure it's lucrative being a spy, but let's be honest, you can't do this forever.
You're right about that. But why do you want to know this? For who did you work? Traditionalist, extremist? Muggle.
All you have to know is I work for someone who's willing to give me a lot of money for this information.
Money is always. It is a good motivator. And what would you do if you get that information?
I would deliver it to the people who sent me, and hopefully this war will end and the bloodshed will stop. The bloodshed will stop.
Look,
It's in everyone's best interest. Our goals align. Don't you see?
look.
She suddenly she suddenly conjures a coffee, apparently. And starts drinking it like a Starbucks coffee. She starts drinking.
Or wake up, but that's none of my business.
Hey, now. Look. This can be pretty easy for us. Even if I knew of masculine curse, which I don't, I think it's in the correct hands right now. So, if you really care about stopping this war, it's probably best to leave it like that.
I don't know, she says. Look, Mr. Juan, I like you. I really do. But the thing is, my employers, I don't think they'll be very accepting of that response.
Come on. You're better than this. I'm sure you and I can come to an agreement. Someone of your skills can probably do very well with my employees.
You hardly know me, she says. I'm just some random girl that you met the other day.
And I'm liking every single thing I know.
Quite a charmer you are. I can see why you got this job.
While I'm talking, Juan will try and, if not cast a spell, because he will need to talk with it, he'll try to untie his hands, because that's the only thing he
Yep, sleight of hand. Roll me a sleight of hand, Mr. Dillon.
I am pretty sure I bumped up this the last time.
Good.
I
There's
like
no-
this girl.
It's legerdemain? It?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, yeah, I did bump it up.
Yep, go ahead and roll it for me.
Uh,
You have your courage points back. Everybody has their courage points back.
Okay, even better yet. 12.
Nice. You will manage to untie yourself discreetly without her noticing. You believe without her noticing.
So, what do you say? How about
What are you proposing exactly, Mr. Della de Rivera?
we're spies? Part of our job is to betray. So why don't you come with me? I'm pretty sure my employers can at least double whatever yours are paying.
Double, you say? She places down her cup. All right, you intrigue me. Although, I don't know if you're certainly in a position to negotiate right now, Mr. Della Rivera, considering how you're bound and tied at the moment.
Oh, dear, I think we are.
Touché, she says.
So,
All right. I'll tell you what. Meet me right outside the restaurant, this time tomorrow evening, and we'll see about joining forces temporarily.
what should I call you when I see you next time?
Just call me Austera.
Then, it's a deal.
Ciao, Mr. Della de Rivera, she says, and with a snap of her fingers, she apparates away, leaving you alone in the warehouse, but the sweet scent of her perfume still lingers in the general area.
I
Damn.
love them.
I need to learn how to operate. And Juan will just walk home. Yeah, pretty normal day. Let's just go home, guys.
Love them so much.
I love new NPCs.
She's great.
Meanwhile, Albion, this will happen a month after you see Levi. This would be around 5 months, 5 months-ish or so after Levi's death. So
Okay.
there is going to be, you're going to be at your house, and I think there's going to be a knock on the door at your house.
Which one? British or Japanese, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter, honestly. Which one do you think? Which one do you prefer?
I think he's probably been. Is Chessa back in Japan or wherever she's at? He'd probably be closer to wherever Chessa's at, to be honest.
I think Chess is still in London.
Then he's probably been staying mostly at the British house then.
Fair enough. There's a knock at the British house door, and I guess Ellis will answer. Master Albion, there's somebody here to see Master Finn.
Okay, I think he was out back doing some stuff. Let me go get him. Do you know who it is?
He says that his name is Droxel. I've never met him before. But apparently he is a relative of Master Finn.
Well, if you want to invite him in, I'll get Finn and we'll be right there. And then Al would head out back to wherever Finn is.
I would say he's out back probably like carving a staff. He's been doing a lot of carving lately.
Hey, Finn.
Hey, what's up?
I didn't mean to interrupt. I know you're working on your staff making, but there's someone here to see you, Droxel. They said they're related to you. Do you know a Droxel?
He will go over there, and you're going to see somebody's waiting in the living room. Seems very antsy. It is a relatively skinny, at least compared to Finn, young man. He's got sea green hair, and which probably tells you that he is the part of Finn's family that is Mermish, Mermish. And Finn will come in and say, Droxel, it's like, happy to see you. What are you doing here? And Droxel goes over to Finn, gives him a quick hug, and says, Finn, something terrible has happened. Terrible? Yes. The hideout over at the Bermuda Triangle, it seems that there was a spy that gave away our location there. What happened? You escaped. How about everybody else? Many of us were able to escape, but not all. Several people of them ended up getting captured. I don't know where they're taking them, but I heard things about experiments. How about Mom? Did they tell me that Mom's okay? Droxel kind of like drops his head and he shakes his head. Where were you, Finn? Where were you this whole time? I told you, Droxel, I was here. I had business to attend to. What business? You're out, carving things while your family needed protection? They got caught because you weren't there. You weren't there to protect your own family. Finn kind of looks down a little bit, and his face kind of turns red with guilt. And he starts clenching his fists a little bit. We needed you there, Finn. And you said that you had other things to do. Well, I'm sorry. I don't see you doing anything particularly important here while you're waiting around for the war to end. Finn doesn't say anything. I don't know if Albion does.
I don't think he would. I think he's just kind of staring in shock and probably looks like flushed. He's pale white.
Droxel kind of turns towards Albion next, and he says, You Did you put him up to this? Were you the reason why he needed to stay here? Hey, Finn suddenly says. You keep him out of this. He has nothing to do with this. And Droxel just looks very, very angry and upset. I stayed because it was my choice. Don't bring him into this.
Al will finally speak up, and he starts to speak, but he doesn't even get a full word out, and he takes a deep breath. He says, Finn, you know I've said you could leave at any time. And if you need to go be with your family, go be with your family.
Do you have any idea where they were taken? We had some people who spotted the army or whatever you call it, whatever the Muggles call it. I think we have an idea of where they might be taken. Are you actually going to come with me to try to rescue them? Al, this is going to be very dangerous. I don't know what'll happen if I go. But this is my family we're talking about.
You go. It's a no-brainer, Finn. Obviously, I want you to stay safe, but you have to go for your family. You see tears starting to form in Al's eyes.
Droxel, can you give me a moment, please? Droxel nods, and he'll leave the room. I hate this, Al. I don't want to leave you, but at the same time, I don't want to abandon your family. And I know that you're saying this because you care about me and you want to make sure that my family is safe. I thought I was doing the right thing by staying here and watching over you because you've been going through a lot, and I don't regret staying here, so don't feel like this is your fault. Like you said, I could have left whenever I wanted to, but I didn't.
It's okay, Finn. I'm gonna be busy myself with some things that I know I sound like a broken record when I think back to the games when I kept so much from you, and then telling you was so easy, but there's something now that I actually am unable to tell you, like physically unable to tell you, but I have a plan. And so maybe it's best if for now we both focus on what we need to do to keep the people we love safe, and when all this is said and done, hopefully everything we've done will make it so that we can spend time together without this worry. I'd be a hypocrite if I told you to stay out of it when I feel like I'm heading right into it as well.
You're a lot stronger than people give you credit for, Albion. Don't ever doubt that. We still have the bracelets, okay? So...
yeah.
It'll be fine. I'll send you as many owls as I can, and hopefully I'll be able to find my family before it's too late, and things will be better.
I know how much they mean to you, and I want you to do anything you can there for them right now. I'll be okay. Thank you for giving me the courage, because I think sometimes you believed in me more than I did, and if I had my way with all of this, we would have just stayed completely out of it, but clearly fate has different plans. So I think our best action now is to do what we believe in our heart is best, and if it's meant to be, we'll see each other on the other side.
Would you want to come with me?
I would, but like I said, I have other things I've been kind of contemplating and working on, and I don't know how well I could balance the two of those things.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pack up my stuff, and I guess I'm gonna go.
Al will look at Droxel and say, can I have the address at least in case I need to come there?
We believe they got sent over to some facility in one of the islands, Bermuda, I think.
So I would copy down whatever information Droxel was able to give him, and he'll look at Finn and he'll say, I'll at least come visit. If my plans I have don't work out, or I find that it's not requiring me to be elsewhere, then I'll be there in a heartbeat.
Okay. He will lean over and give you a kiss.
I will hug him really tight as he kisses him.
And he will pack up his stuff, including his giant trident, which he hadn't wielded in a long time, and he leaves. A couple months pass by, and this will be when you invite Chessa. So why don't you set that up?
Okay, so Al he didn't tell Chessa where they were going. He just said that, he wanted to kind of just take her out, get away for a little bit. And he wanted to show her something. So that's all he would have told her.
Okay.
So I imagine he would have just apparated there because he's been there before, and he would have just had her sidelong with him.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously go to the shrine where he had been taken by his mother, the same place that then later on he watched as the Death Eaters killed her. And I don't know, in all these years, this is the first time he's been back since his mother's death, so I don't know if you want to describe what it currently looks like, Hark.
Yeah, so they have definitely tried to rebuild this place. Obviously, it's going to take ages for it to reach the majesty that it was in before. But they have rebuilt the shrine. The plants are starting to grow. Many of them are still super young, but a few of the faster growing plants have started to bloom and blossom. But they kind of redid the river pond thing that ran through it, and at least for the time being, it seems like it's healing, at least.
And then out of character, I didn't really consider this, but Chessa's not Japanese by heritage, correct?
She is not. She is half Filipino, half Chinese.
Okay, so she probably isn't familiar with any of this. I can assume that correctly?
I'm sure she studied it.
Okay.
I'm sure she's aware of a lot of other Asian cultures, just because she's very intelligent. So I would say she'd be familiar with a lot of the Japanese customs.
Okay. So as they get there, Al is looking around, kind of taking in everything you described, and he's actually pleasantly surprised because obviously his last memory of it is not a good one, and it's of it being in flames. And he'll just kind of look at Chess and he'll say, "What do you think?"
It's beautiful, Albicun. It's peaceful, and the air smells like the herbal teas that my mom would make in the mornings.
He smiles. He says, "Yeah, I came here a lot as a kid. Well, not a lot, but every year or so, we would come here for the Hajigatsuban festival, where we would interact with our ancestors, those who have passed before us."
I would have loved to have seen that.
He says, "The reason I brought you here wasn't meant to be, us being sad for all the people we've lost, because I know we've lost a lot. I mean, Levi, and we've lost Nico and Asa, and believe it or not, this is the very place I watched my mom die many years ago. But I brought you here because for me, this place, while it has some bad memories, it gives me hope. And I wanted to share a little bit of it with you. in a time when it seems like we don't have much to hope for.
Albican, that's very thoughtful and touching. That really means a lot, thank you. You've been such a wonderful friend all these years, especially since Levi left, and you've always been so supportive and just wonderful to both of us, so I hope you understand how much I've always valued our friendship.
Of course, and I hope you know that when the baby comes, I want to be as much of a help as I can. Whether you continue to stay in London so he's close to Hunter and Joe, or whether you choose to raise your child near your parents, I still want to be a part of your life and their life.
I wouldn't expect any less. You know, I never said this to you, Albion, but when Levi proposed, we were talking about plans for weddings and marriages, and we were both fighting over having you be our best man or man of honor, she says with a smile. For the record, I won and got you as my man of honor.
He says, oh really? Huh. So who did Levi end up picking, he says?
I think he mentioned something about having to choose between Chance and Rodney.
That would have made quite a wedding, he'll say, and he'll kind of... Yeah, his face is like half smile, but like half sad thinking about it.
It would have been quite a wedding.
Are you planning on continuing with any efforts in the war once you've had your child, or are you going to focus on motherhood? Have you decided?
I want to just lie down and rest. Sometimes I envy Levi for that, because he can do that now. But part of me feels like we made a promise to each other, Levi and I, that we would do everything in our power to change the world if we had to for our kids. And I would like to keep that promise, if possible. You know, Albion, I had a dream the other night. A dream about many, many years into the future. Levi and I were old and grayish. Not completely gray yet. We had dozens of kids, she says with really wide eyes. I don't know how Levi would have convinced me to have that many children, but... And I was being honored for a lot of accolades, but you know, I still would give up all of that success if it meant that Levi could still be around, you know.
Trust me, I know. I think there's a lot of things many people would give up to have just a moment with their loved ones again that they've lost. But the good thing is, when your little one comes, you know, hopefully they have a little bit of Levi in them, and you'll get small moments of Levi through that. Have you figured out what you're having yet, or did you want it to be a surprise?
I wanted to keep it a surprise. I wanted to give myself something to look forward to, I guess. Look forward to discovering. So, we'll see. Whatever it is, though, it's pretty active, I should say. I think he or she is going to be quite a handful. She looks down at her belly.
Can't wait to meet them.
Thank you for taking me here, Albican.
Of course. He'll give her a hug.
He'll give her a hug, and then she'll say, "Ooh. Oh. I think I need to slide down." She's gonna lie down. And right now she's just taking her breath and catching her breath a little bit, and her belly like heaves up and down. And then you notice her water just broke.
Oh my goodness.
Dark, fail this medical roll, please. I'll be sorry.
Dude, don't do any medical rolls.
All right.
Just
You gotta
try.
deliver our baby. You gotta deliver our baby.
Can I do
Brandon, get back to the window.
Can I do a first aid roll just to assess if he feels like
Yes.
what he thinks is the best course of action before
Yes.
he does anything else?
There's still have plenty
Alright.
of time when they broke the water to get into the hospital, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there should be.
Deliver my baby, Al.
All right. 14.
Last time he tried to do any medical, not to throw any shame, but
You believe that there is time to take her to a hospital, to rush her to a hospital so that she can give birth at the wizarding hospital. Yes.
Okay. He'll say, "Wait. Is that what I think it is? You didn't just pee yourself, did you?"
No. Okay. Albion, don't panic, but I think I need you to take me somewhere very quickly.
Okay. Can I apparate you there? Are you supposed to apparate someone who's about to give birth to look at her in a panic?
If you're convinced that we can do it without flinching, but I think if you want to just... I'm assuming you went here by broom.
They
I'm
apparated
assuming
there.
you came... Oh, you apparated there? Oh, okay. Maybe, we can, rent a broom and go to the nearest hospital?
Yes, out of character, where did they rent rooms from?
I'm sure you can rent them. I'm sure there's some sort of system now. It's like Amazon, where you can an owl comes in and drops off. I feel like by this point in time, there's the equivalent of the scooters, like the birds or the limes or whatever you have. So they have these random brooms that are lying around that you can rent and just take them.
And then a broom will come flying in or some shit.
Yes, something like that.
Okay. He'll say, "Okay, but I was never the best on brooms, Chessa."
It's okay, she says. Just drive. Just drive.
Okay. So he'll get the broom and have her hold on tightly.
Levi, or not Levi, Brandon, roll me an athletics roll, please.
Oh, no, okay. As Levi?
Roll me an athletics roll. No, not as Levi, as the spawn of Levi.
Oh.
I would like for you to roll an athletics as the spawn of Levi.
Alright.
God damn. Never thought I'd hear that, ever.
what?
You will, I'm going to say for the sake of time, you will successfully manage to get Chessa to the wizarding hospital. She will have one request, because she knows Levi would want it. She is requesting, if it's not too much trouble, for you to apparate Roxana and Juan there to meet the child.
Of course. I mean, do you need me to try to get your family or Levi's dad's or anyone else? I mean, obviously I'll get Roxy and Juan.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay. So Al would start with Roxy. If we
Okay.
have to I don't know if we have to role play all this out.
In the interest of time, I'm just going to say that
Okay.
you'll be able to gather everyone. And so they're in the waiting room. You were able to get her parents, Levi's parents. Again, I think it was her mother I want to say her mother was Filipino and her father was Chinese.
Yeah,
I want to say that. But
That's it.
anyway, and they're very pleasant. But right now they're kind of like antsy, so they might not be as talkative. But Levi, what was your athletics?
7.
7. Okay. So you're going through the birth canal. You're struggling to get in.
Come on, Brandon.
Yes. And suddenly, you guys from the waiting room will start hearing cries where Chessa was.
Woo!
Do you guys hear that? Oh my goodness!
Woo!
They're
She
here!
did it.
Wah, it's my best RP ever. Wah, wah.
So, yes. You mean he doesn't come out yelling USA?
I mean, what is pride? China.
A nurse will come out and say, "Would you like to meet them?" And when all of you enter into the room, to your surprise, you see that Chessa has delivered a pair of twins. So you guys will come into the room, and you will see that right now Chessa is holding this. Describe what the baby looks like, Brandon.
I would say he's a chunk baby. He's like 10 pounds. He's chunky.
Okay.
And he's got a full head of hair. He came out with a bunch of hair.
I think it's heavy for. So Chessa gave birth a month early, so maybe a little less than 10 pounds. I would say heavy for somebody who is a month early.
Yeah, he's chunky.
Less than that, but chunky for someone who's a month early. And she will, start to hand the baby first over to. I'm gonna say she'll hand it to her parents first, and they'll start, cooing and at the little baby. What does the little child do in the arms of the grandparents?
Just cries. Ah! Ah!
Okay. This is amazing role playing from Brandon.
It's gonna be like himself or something.
And she will hand the girl over to Chessa, who will then hand the girl over to Levi's parents to hold. And
she's calm. She doesn't cry at all.
She's pretty calm. She cry. Well, they have to cry.
Yeah,
to some degree, because that's how they know. Because something's not right if they're not crying.
Yeah.
But she cries a little bit. But she calms down quicker than the son, the boy.
Are we sure there's not another one in there? Because
That's what I was thinking.
They will check and see. No, there's no others. There's just twins. And Chessa
clear.
will. The Chessa's parents will ask, "So, do you have names for both of them?" And Chessa will say, "What does Chessa say, Brandon?"
She looks at the boy and she's like, "Luke." And then she looks at the girl. She's like, "Leia." Luke and Leia. Yes.
Luke and Leia.
Oh my god, it's just like the movie we watched.
It's just like the movie,
It's
except
like the
Chessa doesn't
movie.
die afterwards.
Yes, and then but we're still like taking the girl somewhere else, right? She's being taken to another.
Yeah, she gets dropped off on a different.
Al says, I think Levi would definitely approve of those names.
yep, I think Levi would be glad.
Don't know if the kids will when they grow up, but hey, it's a good goof for now.
Can I do a perception roll to see who they look more like?
Sure. I'm going to say that Luke has a slightly more features from his mom, and I'm going to say that Leia is paler skin, not pale, but lighter skin than her brother.
I will say, look, one looks more like Levi and the other looks more like Chessa. How cute.
Oh, the boy, he is so fat. It's going to be a big.
He's gonna be big and chunky like his dad.
Well, Levi
Isn't
wasn't
that
chunky.
like Baby Roll 101?
They say the bigger they are, the more muscly they'll be. But oh my god, he was born with so much hair. Did you have like lots of heartburn, Chessa? Like, Jesus, it's a lot of hair.
Come on, I think Chessa needs some time to relax after giving birth to twins.
Oh yeah, true.
True.
Relax,
Are you
Chessa.
feeling okay, Chessa?
A lot better now, she says. I wish that one more person could be here, but I know in a way he is.
He always will be.
I bet he's crying right now. I bet he's so happy he's crying. Wherever he
Thank you so much for coming. It means the world that you guys came, despite, I'm sure, your busy lives.
If you need anything, just call us, okay?
Babysitting. Definitely will need some babysitting eventually.
Oh, I'm going to be the favorite. Okay, because
I
lots of
doubt
candy,
it.
lots of candy, lots of presents.
I'm a single mom who just had twins, so be careful what you offer, she says.
I'll
Relax.
spoil it. Not too hard about it.
And Juan will lead the room. So let her rest.
Okay. Juan.